Blackburn Rovers win-loss streak continued this Tuesday night as, of course, they suffered another defeat to Wigan Athletic. Are we going through a bit of an identity crisis? We're going to take a look at that and more next. That's right, folks. Back to another match review. Looking back to Blackburn Rovers' latest match. That's right, another defeat. Win-loss. As we lost, of course, against Wigan Athletic at the DW. And we'll take a look at that. And in just a second, of course, if you do, where you been, smash your subscribe button back to all things Rovers related, Championship related, win-loss related. We've got it all here, boys. Under one Rooski, of course. Who'd have actually? I think we all kind of thunked it really that we were going to get ourselves another defeat, and the streak continued. But of course, the Matrix returns this coming Saturday as we try to break it now against Middlesbrough. But anyway, we'll talk all about that and more in a second. Of course, people shout out about VIPs. They are the patrons, and of course, a big shout out to Blue Rose Capital for, of course, sponsoring this segment of the channel. So here we go. Let's take a look at the stats. Have a look at it. Pains me to see. So here we go. 1-0 it was. Yeah, really absolutely shite performance from Blackburn Rovers today. Can't really. You look at that and you think, well, there must have been something to get excited about. But no, total shots for Wigan, 13. Oh my gosh. We only had three off target, none on target. Oh my gosh, how flippity floppity are we? From one moment on Saturday, we looked uber hungry for goals. But today we look so shy, so lackluster, so all over the place. That and again I've already done my reaction to the performance. But I'm not saying I'm questioning anything right now. But if I was JDT and I know I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt, give you the season to figure this out. But if you can see the inconsistency of the form, and now you're going to go away to the Riverside. It's going to be tough. This is, of course, a potential to break the jinx, but actually you want to maintain the jinx, to be honest with you. You're going to get back to anyways on Saturday. But if you get through Saturday with whatever game plan you go at it, the next match, which is Sunderland, you've got to change up the 11. Just go completely against the grain. Give Dak a start. Give Dolan a start. Give McInday a start. Just refresh it all to stop this mess. This backward, backward sort of stuff. It's one step forward, one step back at the moment. We're not making any progress. We're doing the doggy paddle and we're going absolutely nowhere while other teams make strides in and around us, including Wigan. Big jump from them today, and we'll see it in the table in a second. They're up to 9th now, I think. So we'll have a look at it in a minute. Let's go over the stats here. Let's get all this niff-naff out of the way. 57% for Rovers. Dog shit possession. That means zilch. If you looked at that, it used to mean something. Possession used to mean you're dominating. But not with Rovers. We look shit. We look boring. We look bland. We're not going anywhere with this possession. It's just, I don't know. We're playing football in a wind tunnel, so we're just not going anywhere. We're more like going backwards. And unfortunately, it was a dire watch. And I'd take a dire watch if we won it, or took a dire watch if we get a point out of it. But ultimately, it was a 1-0 win for Wigan. Nathan Broadhead with the goal, but calamity was with Rovers. We shit the bed. I think Morton at fault. In fact, Wharton could have been in fault in amongst it, but Morton, of course, it will boil down to his calamity there, which led to a chance. Will Keane, a little dinkage there, but Broadhead was there to finish off the move. In all honesty, and if Wigan fans are watching this review, if you take that little blip, that little opportunity, which you took full advantage of, and respect for taking it, but you take that out of the game, despite your 13 chances, I think a draw would have been a fair result. But realistically, Rovers were dire. Wigan were dire, but they got the result. So, fair play to them, and 3 points in the bag for them. And, of course, their streak, not the winless streak, but, of course, their unbeaten streak at the DW against Rovers continues. Staying at the start 11 then, shall we? Of course, where are you? Right here. Starting with, of course, Wigan. Bain Amos was pretty sticks. Tilt at the back there with Watmore and Kerr, 3 centre-backs. Naylor, Power, Deriwanka, or whatever, on the right-hand side. No Nyambe, McLean on the left. Keane, of course, Broadhead, Charlie White, up top. As for the subs, Joe Bennett coming on, Theo Asgard from Lord of the Rings or something, Ashley Fletcher and Josh McGuinness. Some good players to bring on, I suppose. As for Rovers, we went with Kaminsky, Wharton, Ayala and Heimer back three, which I don't know which one I prefer. Travis, of course, Morton, Hedges, Pickering, Smodic, Hurst and Diaz. On the bench, we had Britton coming on, Wharton, Dack, Dolan and Gallagher. No Buckley, no Mackandé. Who else was missing from this team? So a lot of players that I anticipated would be a big part of this team this season, and nowhere to be seen. They're not even on the bench, nowhere near know how. And of course, likes of Adam Wharton and Ashley Phillips, fair play to them, taking their chances, and of course are involved. But Smodic. Did I even do the team news? I barely even mentioned Smodic. I felt he had zero part in that game, and he was a different player on Saturday, involved, but today he was a dud. Jeff Hurst, whatever you want to call him. Yeah, not really working out for me. Let's take a look at, of course, some of the shots and stats then for you in the game. We are represented by the blue, the three dots there, the three amigos. And that was added two to Berto Diaz, one for Gallagher. Nothing for Hurst. Nothing for, who else do we have? Smodic. Nothing for Travis and Morton. Two, and when you think about it, they are two defensive-minded midfielders. There's no real spunk in that midfield there. Travis will get you a tackle. And I think him in the two central midfield slot, you are going to not lose the battle, but of course it's not really a midfield that excites you. You know what I mean? You need, I think, if you're gonna have Travis in there, you need definitely another central midfielder to kind of. I know Smodic is in there, but he's more in the middle, moving forward. But ultimately, I just think it was they got too much to do. And I don't think they're skilled enough to do it. 715 touches, meaningless. 560 passes, meaningless. 559 for Wigan, 412 for them for the passes as well. But yeah, ultimately the stats are in there. As you can see, Keane had 3 shots, Broad had 3, Nader had 3. And again, spread out all over the place. Taking a look at the heat maps then, shall we? Wigan, of course, represented by the top graphic there. And Rovers, of course, a lot of possession on the right. That's the Hedges effect. But ultimately, no good, none the same. Let's take a look at, of course, the match ratings. They give them out of the match to... I think it's looking like Jack Whitemore with a 7.3. Kaminsky with a 7.5. Best player on the pitch. Looks like Travis with a 7.3. Sometimes I just don't know about these ratings, but anyway, then you can see the stuff at the bottom there. But anyway, enough about that. What about the JDT? Here he is with his thoughts and opinions about the game and more. Take it away.
I think it was difficult for everybody to watch the game tonight. Not only for me, it was of course a disappointing result. The players were very disappointed after the game with the performance. I think we were quite good in dealing with second balls, playing around our box defensively. We did that excellent actually. But first half on the ball, we made a lot of changes, a lot of mistakes. Everybody made a lot of mistakes. It was a game with a lot of mistakes actually. Of course, disappointed with conceding a goal like that in a game that's that close without no chances. It was a poor game, but there was no chances. We need to create more chances, but it was not a game with a lot of chances. So I was disappointed to concede a goal, which probably shouldn't have been a goal today. In that way, we of course we need to mature up. Taking those points, especially in a close game, play especially away from home. We know how important that first goal is in this league. We know that. So it's something we need to deal with in that way.
In some ways, is it similar to last Tuesday?
We played a lot of games, yeah. Similar, I think second half, Cardiff away, I think we created opportunities and chances. Today was less opportunities for both teams. It's a bit of a derby, not the best football in that way. Great to see that many Rovers fans on a Tuesday night. Incredible. So I'm disappointed that we can't give them a better performance.
To go the whole evening without a shot on target, Jon, from a head coach's perspective, how disappointing is that?
Yeah, of course, very disappointed. But if you don't make the right decisions, then it's difficult to create chances, and we had a couple of moments where we were almost dangerous. We had a couple of shots, but of course not big chances, not at all.
10 of the 11 started on Saturday and put in a really good performance. As a head coach, does that drive you mad that you can then come here a game just down the road. You'd not taken into account a big long away trip this time.
Of course,
and get such a different performance.
Of course, I hate that. The players hate it, the fans hate it, that we are inconsistent. I'm not surprised. I'm saying the same when we're winning the games. We are still very inconsistent, and we'll be that for a while with this new squad. So that's quite normal. A young team who needs to be stable in that way.
I know you said it's not a surprise, but did you expect to win tonight?
I always go on the pitch to win a game, but if you can't play a good game, which we didn't, it was a very poor game to watch for the fans. So then you need to take a draw. That's why I was a little bit disappointed with that goal when it's so important to get the first goal.
Yeah. Have you ever known it yourself in football that you've played 14 games and it's such a split of 7 wins and 7 defeats? It's one or the other again.
To be honest, I've played a lot of football, but I can't remember all the games. But it tells a lot about the league, how tough it is, and how different it is playing away and at home as well.
Just in terms of what you saw tonight, Jon, are there things that you can build on, or do you have to put this game to bed and say that wasn't good enough and we've just got to do better?
No, without the ball, I think we did well. We dealt with the problems, we dealt with the way they played, which they're very good at, picking up second balls, bringing it into the box. I think we solved that problem. Making choices on the ball, keeping the first ball in the team, making good runs in behind. No, that was not good. Especially not in the first half. Second half was better without being really dangerous.
Meanwhile, what's been said on social media? We'll take a little look. Then Showing Loose Hartley said, shit show again, playing out from the back. Finally cost us, and I'm surprised it's taken this long. We're going to clearly a bogey team need to see an improvement in quick time, as this isn't good enough. The EFL zone put this Blackburn at home versus Blackburn away. True. Meanwhile, young lassie there bringing on shit result, shit game, shit Tuesday night. At least the Moo is happy about the lollipop, of course. So at least some people had a good day, but most of us had a shite one. Ron Rovers said, zero progress. These was absolutely diabolical. I generally haven't seen any progression being made under JDT. Yes, we have a young squad, but that is no excuse for inconsistent form. Not starting Dak is out of pure stubbornness and ego. Gone by Christmas. Not by the Venkies, of course. 4-star said, discussing how JDT has treated Dak this season. Sad how Hurst gets ahead of him. Only the coach knows. Tim Farron says, good grief, this season feels like a slow motion penalty shootout. So frustrating. Never has a team been so consistently inconsistent. Well, at least we're not boring and it's an exciting young team, etc. Gavin says, 0 shots on target in 90 minutes. Disgraceful. Daniel Maiding-Beck said, didn't even test their keeper once. Jordan Kingsley said, consistently inconsistent mentality issue with the group seem to just go to pot after a win. Benny Womble said JDT needs to stop being stubborn. You can't play the way he wants in the championship. Just pass it around at the back and then hoof it. Dreadful to watch and not getting any better. We are the Rovers. I think that's Mr. Max said. Really poor young teams, so they need time, but tactically something isn't working in each second game. If things don't change, they stop as they are. JDT needs to shake it up a little. Can't believe Dak isn't getting more game time in this team. And that's true. And I said that myself, is like, if you're benching him one game, fair enough. Play him the second game. Play him the fucking second game. Give him a start. Why can't you give him a start? What are you waiting for the next fucking cup game? And I know, and I know he might not play. If today was dire. Today was absolutely dire, and it could be another dire one on Saturday. And hopefully, whoever is making the decisions, and I know there's no need to make decisions now. We're still okay in the table, doing all right, and it is a transitional season. The only way I panic button, of course, if the W's do dry up and there's no W's, and then we'll have to start talking. People will talk about Smodic and Morton, but conversations need to be had about how bad Travis is on the ball. JDT isn't going to last long playing passing football when Travis can't do zilch other than defend. And Red Rovers said, no words really. Game had ball draw written all over it. No imagination going forward. No urgency, no pressure on Wigan when they're working it around the back line. Personally feel the system is right, but application isn't. Fair play to the travelling fans. That's, of course, what's going on there. What's going on elsewhere? Of course, take a look at the table. As you can see, we are 7th. We have played a game more than everybody else. And technically, we could be a moment away from going down to 11th, of course. We have a bit of a gap between ourselves and Sunderland in 12th, of course. We're getting all the way up to 9th now, and a couple of points within us as well. The games don't stop there, of course. There is one more game tomorrow. Preston up against somebody that doesn't really care. We don't really care about that, but we do care about Rovers' next match. But Rotherham kick us off on Saturday against Huddersfield. Luton against QPR, also early door kickoffs there. Preston against Stoke, Sunderland against Wigan, Bristol City against Millwall, Cardiff against Coventry, Sheffield United against Blackpool, Burnley, Swansea, Reading, West Brom, Watford against Norwich, Hull against Birmingham. But the game of the day will be at the Riverside, Middlesbrough against Rovers. I'll be back in the hot seat, of course, for that watchdog, so make sure you come by and say hello. But that is it. Smash your subscribe, smash your thumbs up, smash the little bell, of course. We'll be back, of course, for the next one. But, of course, the preview will be starting in a couple of days. But until then, guys and girls, shit show extraordinaire. Rovers look boring at times, but this is a transition. It's a project. Of course, we are working towards something, hopefully. Yeah, pressure comes back onto me now. Let's get the win on Saturday and move again forwards. But until then, we're done.